Hi everyone, it's Rachael here and welcome back to the Ditch the Diet podcast. So it's only me in today's episode and I've been wanting to record this for quite a long time now, but it's just one of these things that has taken me a little while to actually put down on paper properly so that I can get it across in a way that I really want to get it across to you. And I think now is a really good time to do that because I am in a place where things are changing in a big way. Business is changing. My life has changed a lot in the last few months. So I thought I would put together a little bit of a compilation of my top 5 or 6 things. I'm saying things with air quotes here, that I like to adhere to. I suppose they're rules for success, perhaps. And I understand that my frankness and straightforwardness might not appeal to everyone. So my apologies in advance if you feel offended by anything that I say. But hopefully you will feel more positive and upbeat about whatever challenges that you face moving forward with your life, your goals and your aspirations for things. If this is your first time listening to the Ditch the Diet podcast, welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. You don't want to miss out any future episodes, and we also have 70 previous episodes as well that you can listen to. And if you are a long-term listener, then hopefully you've already subscribed. Please don't forget to hit the 5-star review button on iTunes or Apple Podcasts because it would really mean a lot to me. Right, without further ado, let me get into today's topic. So things have been absolutely mental for me over the last few months, and there's been so much going on in my personal life and business life as well that it's been absolutely crazy. I guess that is like the easiest way to say things without swearing. It's been fucking mental. Okay, I'm just going to put it out there. It's been absolutely nuts. In fact, the last year has been a bit of a roller coaster ride. Those of you that know me will know why, but those of you that don't need to know. 2.5 months ago, I moved from Glasgow to England, to South Yorkshire. It was a huge move. I basically just changed my whole life. And here I am 2.5 months later, settling into lovely sunny Rotherham, although I'm looking out the window right now. It's mid-June 2019, and it looks and feels a little bit like winter. So as you know, moving house is pretty stressful, as well as keeping the business going as well. The business is Ditch the Diet, by the way. You're listening to the Ditch the Diet podcast. I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. But what I am working on at the moment is a complete relaunch of the Ditch the Diet Academy, which entails a hell of a lot of work, lots of background work, lots of content creation, writing, recording videos, recording podcasts like these ones. We are writing new workbooks, writing new courses. We are doing marketing promotions. And most of all, and most importantly of all, we are helping our Ditch the Diet Academy private members on their journey from wherever they are when they join. So usually sick of being on a diet and want to learn how to lose weight and keep it off without actually ever having to go on a diet ever again. So we're sort of nurturing our current members, and we're launching again in September. So the Academy will be closing at the end of June and reopening at the beginning of September, which is quite exciting, but it's very risky. It's scary. It's a big, bold move because over the last year, we opened the Ditch the Diet Academy last September 2018. And it was the very first time that I have ever actually put all of my eggs in one basket, I suppose is the way to put it. I was always a bit of a jack of all trades, but not a master of none. I was a personal trainer. I taught fitness classes like body attack, body pump, body combat, pretty much every single one of those that you can think of. I was a freelance writer for publications like the Metro, online blogs, offline publications. I did a lot of marketing and PR and sales for gyms and fitness companies. And last year I decided that I wanted to do just one thing, and I created Ditch the Diet, which is our membership site, membership online community, which helps people to get from yo-yo dieter to complete freedom with food in a short period of time. So I put all of my eggs in one basket. It was a massive risk, and I can't believe it's been 9 months, even longer than that now actually, since we did that, since we launched Ditch the Diet. We took a risk. Well, I took a massive risk, and I've learned a hell of a lot in the past year. I've made a lot of mistakes, both business, both financial, lost thousands, made mistakes when it comes to memberships, the website. Oh God, the list is endless. If there's a mistake out there to be made, then I've made it. And I look back now and I can learn from that, and that's why we're relaunching in September, one of the reasons, so that we can put everything into action that I've learned over the last year. And something that I've always wanted to do was also to bring Ditch the Diet into the community, but I've put off doing that because, quite honestly, because I was scared, because I was frightened of it falling on its arse and failing. I was scared of failing, I guess. And that's really not like me. And it took until a few people actually said to me a few months ago, what is it that you're really scared of, Rachel? What really is it that you're fearful of happening? What is the worst that could happen? And so, in true Rachel style, in true me style, if I decide I'm going to do something, I put 100% into it. And I think that's quite unusual, and I don't want to sound like I've got a huge ego here, but the vast majority of people that I come across in the world today, or a few years ago, mostly because I surround myself with people that are in a similar wavelength to me now, but a lot of people out there will say they want to do something but never actually follow through and do it. And personally, that is one of my pet hates. That is one of the things that really grinds my gears. And I guess I was scared to put it out there that I was going to do something in case I didn't actually manage to get it off the ground, because I don't like to say that I'm going to do something, or I'm going to create something, or I'm going to choose to do something if I actually don't intend to follow it through. So I guess that was one of the main reasons why I didn't say I was going to do it. So here I am, putting it out there. Our first Ditch the Diet community group launches 2 weeks on Thursday. So 2 weeks today, actually, if you're listening to the podcast on the day it comes out. We have an information evening, and it's in Rotherham. If you are listening and you live in Rotherham, Doncaster, South Yorkshire, and you want to come along, there are very little tickets left, actually, for the free information evening, but I'll pop the link in the description of the podcast if you want to come along, if you're in the area. We also have another one launching in Manchester very soon after as well. So it's very exciting. By the beginning of 2020, I am going to roll this out to more cities across the UK, and we are going to take on the big slimming clubs in 2020. So notice the language that I'm using. I'm not saying that I'm going to try and do it. I'm not saying I would like to do it. I'm not saying I need to do it. I'm not saying I want to do it. I'm choosing that I'm going to do it. I am going to do it, and I have decided and committed to doing it. So this is my accountability, and I'm saying it out loud. And those of you who know me out there will know that when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to fucking do it. And you can sit back and watch it unfold in front of your eyes. I just don't like saying things if I know that I'm not actually going to do it. So here, I suppose I should give you a bit of background about me as well, before I jump into my 5 steps or 5 things that I like to focus on when it comes to being successful in whatever I choose to do. I would say, and again, I don't want to come across as having a massive head and a big ego, because I've really not got a big head. I find it really difficult to be not to be hard on myself and to actually think about what I have achieved. But I have actually achieved a hell of a lot. I started a business in end of 2011, so nearly 8 years ago, and it's been extremely successful. I have an extremely successful business with Ditch the Diet. I'm financially free. I can travel, and I have done. I've travelled the world on my own. I have lost 10 kilos of body fat. I have competed in CrossFit competitions. I am extremely fit and healthy. I have done lots of courses and passed them. I've got a degree. I have healed a lot of ailments that I had when I was younger using food. I have helped thousands. Literally, if I was to count, I would never be able to count. I have helped thousands of people to get fit and healthy and lose weight over the past 8 years. And I find that really difficult to actually say out loud, like, I am successful. But has it been easy? No, actually, it's really not been easy. And over the past year since Ditch the Diet launched, has probably been one of the most stressful years of my entire life. In fact, I think it would be the second most stressful year of my whole entire life. The most stressful year of my entire life was when I lost my dad to cancer in 2009. So hopefully you can see just how hard this has been over the last 12 months. But I wanted to talk to you about the things that I do on a daily basis and the things that I've had to do and the sacrifices that I've had to make over the past 8 years. I suppose really, but this has really been going on for longer than 8 years. But since I started my business, lost all the weight that I wanted to lose and got fitter and healthier, I suppose there's been a few things that I've had to really work on. And this has been more profound for me recently as I've had a relapse of depression, which has been challenging as well, because those of you out there that suffer from mental illness of any kind will know that even day-to-day stuff like having a shower, doing your shopping, keeping your washing up to date can be difficult when you feel like that. But I have had to really work hard to change the way that I'm thinking, change the way that I speak, change the way that I'm behaving, as well as obviously the help from doctors and therapists and all that jazz. And I don't want you to get your little violin out for me, right? That's not what I'm here for. I don't need sympathy or anything like that at all. I really don't. But I want you to see that whatever it is that you choose to achieve, whatever it is that you desire, is within your reach. But there are a few things that you have to do, and a few things that you must accept before you can actually do that. And the first one is that you have to be careful of how you speak and the language that you use when it comes to yourself. Not just yourself, but when you talk about your goals and talk about the things that you want to achieve, the language that you use is really, really important. We talk about this quite a lot in Ditch the Diet when it comes to body confidence and the way that you talk about yourself. But when you talk about the goals that you're going to set yourself, I want you to start thinking about the language that you use, because the language that you use sends an energy out into the world that says either I'm serious about this or I'm not serious about this. So I've read a couple of books in the past week by an author called Jen Sincero, and one of them is called, it's in front of me here, it's a bright yellow book. It's called You Are a Badass, basically. And I highly recommend it. I'll put the link in the description of the podcast as well if you want to read it. It's really good. But there were a few parts of that book that really resonated with me, and I'm going to just briefly read out a couple of bits that really hit me when it comes to the way that you speak and the way that you talk. There are certain words that can mean other things, certain things that you say that can be more negative than positive. And here are a few of the things that I hear on a daily basis. Words and phrases like, I tried, but I didn't really put the effort in. I want is something that I hear all the time. I need to, because I haven't got. I'm trying, otherwise I'm not committed. I hope, i.e. it might happen, it might not happen, and that lacks faith in yourself. I should, someone else has told me that I should do this, or maybe I will, maybe I won't do it. Or even just saying things like, I don't know, I'm not willing to find out. So when you're setting a goal for yourself, you guys are probably here because you're attracted to the Ditch the Diet podcast name, and that you might be trying to lose weight and struggling with your relationship with food. So the next time you think about setting goals when it comes to your weight, your body, your fitness, your health, have a think about the words that you're using, the phrases that you're using when you set goals, or when you talk to someone, whether that's your buddy, someone at your work, or even when you talk to yourself and the thoughts that are going through your head. The thoughts that are going through your mind are so, so important, and they are make or break when it comes to whether or not you're successful with what you set out to achieve. The thoughts that you think, the words that you use, the things that you say are so vitally important. So here are some phrases from the book that I just explained about earlier that may help you change the way you speak. So instead of saying I want, say I have, I create, I'm grateful for, I enjoy, I can, I choose to, or I love to. When you set out to do something, set out to really do it. There's a difference between wanting something and making a decision that you're going to have it. I'm just going to say that again. There's a difference between wanting something and actually making the decision that you are going to have it. I suppose that ties in with the second thing I was going to suggest, is that when you make a decision that you say that you want to do something, or want to have something, or get something, or create something, actually commit and decide to do it. Because there's no point in saying that you want something if you're not actually willing to put in the work and get uncomfortable enough to actually carry it out and get your arse in gear and actually do it. And there's a little side note here, in that it's okay to not want to do it. So if you've been saying for ages and ages that you want to lose weight, or get fit, or do this or do that, or run a 5k, or do a half marathon, or this kind of thing, but deep down you don't actually want to do it, then that's fine as well. But just don't say that you do, and then don't do the work, don't get what you want, and then feel like you failed because you haven't actually done the work and got uncomfortable enough to actually make progress. And trust me when I say this, if you want to make progress, you have to get seriously uncomfortable. Not just a little bit uncomfortable, but you have to get seriously uncomfortable. You have to make decisions and take risks with lots of different things that are going to make you so uncomfortable it is unbearable at times. You're going to have to get up earlier. You're going to have to go to bed later. You're going to have to do things that you don't really want to do. You're going to have to force yourself to do things that you don't really want to do, or you find it difficult to find time to do. Trust me, if there's something that you want to do, you will find the time to do it. It's not a case of having the time. You will make the time, and you will find the time to do it. So if you say that you want something, if you commit and you decide that you're going to do something, achieve something, create something, then do what you said you were going to do. Okay, this moves on to, I guess, number 3, because that was a sort of 1 and 2 combined. Number 3 is, drumroll, say goodbye to bad habits. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, let's talk about weight loss, for example, changing the way that your body shape looks, improving your fitness and your health, building a better relationship with food. You're going to have to say goodbye to the bad habits that you are currently portraying, and create new, better ones that are more in line with what you want to achieve. Not only do you have to work on habits, so changing habits one at a time, and we teach this in great detail in Ditch the Diet, and we are about to launch a brand new course simply about changing the behaviours and changing your habits, coming at the end of July. Changing one thing at a time is so important, and getting really, really, really good at it. It's like when you get into a car to drive, you put your seatbelt on and start the engine before you've even thought about it, unless you've just started to learn how to drive. You might still be thinking about these things. Sometimes we get from A to B in a car without even realising how we got there. And it's these kind of inbuilt automatic habits that we need to start building, and they need to be the correct habits. They need to be the habits that are going to get you closer to where you want to be, and they need to become second nature. And guess what? It comes with being extremely uncomfortable again. You're going to have to continually do things over and over and over and over and over and over that make you feel uncomfortable, even when you do not want to do them. So changing your habits and behaviours is, now I know it's easy enough for me to sit here and say you need to change your habits and behaviours. However, I know how difficult that is. I've done it. I've been there. Remember, everything that I am talking about today comes from a place of great experience. Years and years and years and decades of persistence, perseverance and discipline, self-discipline. And I can tell you that changing your habits and behaviours is so much more important than simply changing the foods that you eat or don't eat. When it comes to building a better relationship with food, losing weight, getting fitter, whatever it is that your goal is, even if you want to build your own business like I have, you have to change your habits. And we teach you how to do that in Ditch the Diet. And you have to know what the correct habits are to input into your life, and work on them and find a way that works for you to be consistent with them. And I know this is a bit of a cliche and everybody says it these days, but being consistent is vital. There's literally nothing else that comes close to choosing what you want to achieve, choosing that you're going to do it, making a decision, it's getting done, being uncomfortable repeatedly, and being consistent with being uncomfortable, getting used to it. There is no way that you are going to change in a profound way in any way if you are comfortable. And I'm just putting that out there because I've been there, and I'm currently extremely uncomfortable because I'm about to go through a massive period of growth in the business, take huge risks, and I feel really uncomfortable about it. So that's number 3. Number 4 of 5, I think, got them all written down here in front of me. Number 4 is get amongst the right people. You cannot make progress if you are surrounded by miserable, whiny, moany people all the time that just like to talk about how shit their lives are and how difficult life is and how shit their life is and how annoying people are and dragging you down. You know, the kinds of people that every time you phone them or text them or bump into them, it's just misery, 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 misery. Maybe you even are one of those people. You need to find the right people to hang around with. You need to find people that are currently doing what you're doing. You need to find people that are on the wavelength that you want to be on. Perhaps you're not even there yet. Perhaps you are a bit of a negative Nancy still. Perhaps you want to change this. Perhaps you want to surround yourself with people that are more positive. In fact, this is not a perhaps, this is a non-negotiable. You have to change the people that you are hanging around with or that you're spending the most of your time with if you want to progress towards the goals that you set yourself, whatever they may be. And that's one of the main reasons why I created Ditch the Diet, actually, was to give people a platform, a place to go where there are a bunch of people who are on the same or very similar journeys that you can bounce off of and feel supported by. Because a lot of the time a lot of the time it's impossible to change the people that you hang around with or that are around about you a lot, because sometimes they're family. And I wouldn't recommend you just turn around and throw your family out or anything like that unless you really want to. But sometimes you need a support network that is going to give you positive feedback and not bring you down all the time. And when I set out to grow the business, change my business model, grow Ditch the Diet, create the new community groups, all of these things, I had to get rid of a hell of a lot of noise that was going on in my background. I had to get rid of a lot of people that I follow on social media. I had to just distance myself from some friends as well. because the negativity was just draining me constantly. And I thought, I've got enough negative thoughts travelling through my mind when my depression is bad or my anxiety is particularly difficult. I don't need other people's negativity and negative thoughts and moany feelings running through my veins and my brain as well. And so I had to distance myself from a lot of people that were just draining the energy from me. It was like someone was opening a tap on the bottom of my feet and my energy was just draining out. And I'm like, look, I really like you and you're my friend, but fucking hell, like, seriously. Anyway, that's another story for another day. But get amongst the right people. Find your tribe of people who've got your back, who understand your struggles, who want to see you succeed. And sometimes it can be a very small minority of people, but find them and stick with them. These types of people as well can also be, and I think I briefly touched on this before, these types of people can be people that have maybe been on the journey that you want to go on, who are already where you want to be, who have been there, done that, got the t-shirt kind of thing. Maybe like almost like a role model. So if there's someone that is currently doing what you want to do, or has achieved what you want to achieve, or is a little bit further along their journey than you are, don't see them as competition. See them as a role model. Okay, you've got what I want. You've been where I want to go, and I'd like to learn from you. So positive, focus, and surround yourself with the right people. Don't throw your family out if they're the negative ones, but block out the noise. Sometimes it can be as simple as having a conversation, but if you can't go there, you're going to have to find a way to block out the noise. And one of the ways you can do that is just by surrounding yourself with the right types of people. Ditch the Diet being one of them. We have a great community of members who are extremely helpful to each other and are a great source of encouragement for me as well, and for each other. And then I suppose the last one is get help. And this was one that took me far too long. I wish I could go back 8 years to the younger, I'm still young, younger Rachael, and say, stop sitting there and struggling on your own. Ask for help. Invest in a coach, a mentor, someone who's done that, someone who can help you. Ask for help. If only I could go back 8 years and sit down with that Rachael and say, stop being a martyr. Stop worrying about money. Stop worrying about spending money on things, thinking that it will never come back. Stop trying to do everything on your own all the time. I wish I could like shake myself by the shoulders and just go, come on, ask for help. Because it took me until 2013 to ask for proper help, business help. So that was a while, a couple of years. I struggled on my own, and then I got help in 2013, at the end of 13, into 14. And from there, the business has just been booming since then, and I just wish I could go back and go, just ask for help, Rach. We all need help. We cannot do things on our own all the time. Even if you feel like a bit of a martyr, you're like, Rachael, I can do this on my own. Well, fair enough. Go ahead and do it on your own, but it will take you a lot longer and it will be a lot more stressful than if you were to just ask for help. And this would be the right time for me to say that if you are struggling with your weight, if you are struggling with emotional eating, if you feel that you're struggling with binge eating, you can't control your relationship with food, you're confused about what to eat, you're sick of hearing yourself saying that you're going on a diet only to fail it by Thursday, maybe you think like you're a total failure. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, today, that you are not a failure. It is not you who has failed. It is all of these diets and the people that have sold them to you that have failed you. You are not a lost cause. You can make a change. Hopefully, by listening to this podcast episode, you will realise that you can decide to change and you can do it. Because trust me, from experience, personal experience, and knowing the experience of literally thousands of people that I've coached over the years, is that if you put your heart and soul into something and you're willing to get vulnerable, you're willing to get uncomfortable, and you're willing to stay consistent with both of those things for a long period of time, then you absolutely can do whatever you want to do. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve, and we will help you to do that. At Ditch the Diet, we will help you to completely turn your whole life around, whether that's food or not, whether that's improving your relationship with food, building a better diet, changing your health, improving your health, losing weight, getting fitter, running your first 10k, whatever it is that you want to achieve, we are here to help you do that. And like I said at the beginning, I'm about to take a huge risk and close the Ditch the Diet Academy for the foreseeable future. So just before I do that, I will be holding the very last ever free 5-day coaching program. It's called the Diet Declutter, and it is to help you get into the right mindset in order to tackle this journey that you have ahead of you of ditching the diet. It's completely free. It starts on Monday the 17th of June 2019, so you're listening on Thursday. It starts on Monday. This means that you absolutely need to get into the group now. The link is in the description of the podcast, so scroll down, tap on that link to join. And then at the end of June, Ditch the Diet will be closing to new members until September, when we will reopen as a brand new platform with a higher price tag and loads to look forward to actually in September. It seems like quite a while off, but it's absolutely not. So if you're interested in what we do at Ditch the Diet, then you absolutely must get on board now before we close for the summer. Again, I use the word summer very lightly, looking out my window in the rain and the wind and the cold. I've even got my central heating on. Scroll down, read the show notes, click on all the links that you want to find out more about. And if you want a rocket up your arse, then come and talk to me, because I'm really good at that. But what I would say is, whatever you say you're going to do, just fucking do it. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Ditch the Diet podcast. If you have enjoyed this episode, please leave me a little 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Scroll down to the bottom of the screen, hit the 5-star button and leave a little comment. Thank you very much in advance. So yeah, like I said at the end of the pod there, the Ditch the Diet Academy is closing at the end of June. We have a free 5-day coaching program starting on Monday, the 17th of June. There's loads of time still over the weekend to get involved in that. Click on the link in the show notes. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Over the next few weeks, we'll be launching some brand new episodes with some exciting stuff coming up. And we'll also be having some bonus episodes on a Monday. So look out for those as well. It's all very exciting here at Ditch the Diet HQ. Thank you so much for listening again. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're up to. And let me know if this episode has helped you in any way. Take care. See you next week.